Okay. What is your full name? And I'm going to ask you a couple extra questions. Why did your parents select this name, and did you have a nickname? I know the answer to this. But
Carlos Clarence Tomlin Jr. My mother had another name picked out for me, but when I was born and delivered, the doctor handed me to my daddy and said, "Here, CC Tomlin Jr." So that's how I got my dad's name. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the name was they had picked out for me. And I do have a nickname because everybody calls me CC. I've had C Clamp, C Trout, but the one that stuck was Seaweed. So.
Seaweed, yeah. All right. When and where were you born?
June 21st, 1962, Bellefonte Hospital.
You grew up here in Worthington?
Right here in Worthington.
How much has changed since when you grew up to now?
You mean in the town?
Yeah.
Nothing.
What about that old hickory tree?
Well, the hickory tree's gone, yeah, when they put the hanger down there. Yeah,
so why did Papaw choose this place? Because he was born and raised in Garrison. So.
Lewis County, Kentucky, Concord, actually. Just like everybody else back in them days, they had to move this up here or to Cincinnati or Columbus or Michigan to get a job. And
the railroad.
So that's how we end up here.
So I know how many other family members besides me in the area do you have, and how many don't live around here?
The ones that don't live around are just my sister. She lives in Versailles, Kentucky, and the other sister lives in Raceland, and Kelly lives in Worthington, and you live in Flatwoods.
Yep.
I hope I don't have to watch this because this is really going to be stumped too, but I know.
It's okay. We won't upload it. So, was there any special items in your house that you remember that kind of would make you think about like Appalachian history, or would make you think? Because when you think,
an ironing board. Haven't you seen it? I remember sitting there at this table with my mother, which if there was a back door, she would sit right there. The ironing board would be right here, and she'd iron, and I'd be sitting there in my high chair. Well, I actually remember that washing her iron. So, remember spraying starch.
Oh, that is old. That is a long time. I remember Papaw's little knife carving thing down there. I always thought that was cool. No other neighborhood kids had a knife carving.
Knife sharpener. Big wheel.
So what is your earliest childhood memory?
Earliest childhood? I don't know. There's a lot of them. My earliest childhood memory is because we were from Lewis County, Kentucky, and like this, nobody does this anymore. But back when the families back then, when they worked, and every weekend, Saturday morning, we load the car up, and Lewis County we went to go see the aunts and the uncles and the grandmas and the grandpas.
Family reunion.
Every Saturday and stay all night and come back Sunday. And they've done it every weekend.
True Appalachia families there.
That's what they did for years. I mean, you think about all the families down in Pike County and Floyd County that moved up to Detroit to work on the cars. Well, they drive home on the weekend just to see the family, grandma and dad. So.
Yeah, Mom and Pop's no longer around anymore. It's hard to.
Yeah, nobody does that anymore. Now we try to keep it going here.
Well, they even say our accents are starting to change as it goes on.
Not mine.
Yeah, that's not mine either. So, did you remember any kind of games that you liked to play growing up?
Yeah, but you know what? They probably put us away now. Me and the neighborhood boys, we like to play Army. We had these little Army guns, and really,
well, they did paintball when I was a kid.
I mean, but we'd have fall down dead and all that stuff. Them guns actually made, exactly sound like machine guns.
So I take it the gun was probably your favorite toy?
Yeah, it was. And then we moved on to BB guns, and we didn't shoot each other.
Shoot your eye out.
Yeah, shoot you.
What was your favorite thing to do for fun when you were younger, when you were a kid?
Play baseball.
Play baseball.
All the time.
Did your dad ever play with you like
no,
you did with me?
He did not. No, he didn't. He held his hands crossed. Hold the bat, he held it like this.
Wrong way.
Yeah.
I want to ask you again, have you ever been on vacation or anything and felt like that, where you're at from Appalachia, people look out down on you? And
Disney World, early 80s, on that Jungle Cruise ride, the one they made the movie about.
Oh, with the rock.
And that driver asked everybody where they're from. When I opened my mouth, it come out just like this, Kentucky. And as soon as I said it, I went, oh, Lord. And the woman across from, she said, oh, you're from Kentucky? She said, is it true you make you women go barefoot and keep them pregnant? Honestly, she asked me that. Serious. That's 1980, 81. And I didn't know what to say. I just, you actually just asked me that? I said, no, as I know. I said, got really smart. I said, they might have done that in Lexington or Louisville, but they don't do it where I live.
Get that Kentucky way. They do that though. They make us women out to be Jezebels, like we're chasing men, and they make the grannies out to be, tougher than the men. They do. There is an Appalachian stereotype. That's what we were learning in this class. So I'm gonna ask you some more questions. Did you ever receive an allowance?
Yeah, it was. My dad, when he gave his paycheck, I got the odd cents. If I was lucky, it was 79 cents or 84. There was a couple of them I remember 4 cents. Get paid something that 4 cents. That's what I get, 4 pennies.
Now, did you ever save it or did you just spend it?
You go buy a dime's worth of penny candy back there, the whole brown bag full of candy. You take a dime, go to the store. That store up here on 4th Avenue.
I remember Mom telling me that
Patton
too.
Grocery, and where Terry Browning lived, right across the street, was a store, and we go. Me and Dale ride our bike. We was only about 4 tricycles probably. Go up there and give her a dime, and we'd pick out. You get Tootsie Rolls, Pixie Sticks. I mean, a whole bag of candy for a dime. You can't get nothing for a dime. I don't even know what they need a dime for nowadays.
Oh yeah, you don't think you can buy anything with a dime. Go ahead and tell me what high school you went to when you graduated.
Graceland High School, 1980.
And what all did you like to do in high school?
I didn't like high school. No. I didn't like the school environment whatsoever.
I didn't until I got to college. College is a different environment.
I didn't like that. I didn't play sports. I did play baseball. Played for Coach Pack. That was the only thing I did play, and that was it. And most of the time I worked. Remember?
Yeah, you did start the railroad.
No, I was before the railroad. I worked passing papers.
Okay.
I went to First and People's Bank at 16 years old. They can't do this no more either. Walked into Jim Gearhart's office and told him I was going to buy a 1970 C10 pickup truck off Frank Ratliff, and he wanted $1,100, and they give me a loan.
For $1,100. Yeah, they don't do that.
2 years loan it was $42 a month.
Yeah, they don't.
And I had to pay for my own insurance and everything. So
hey, you did good then.
Passing papers.
What happened to that truck?
I don't know, but I wished I had it. You know what them things is worth now?
A lot.
Gosh, yes, 1970 C10.
I know Brad likes his 89, so.
Yeah. I know how it would be. I still got my motorcycle. They got me for my 14th birthday. It's out there in the garage.
I know you ended up buying it back, didn't you, from somebody?
I found it and bought it back.
We'll have to get that up and running.
Yeah.
So do you remember any fads from your youth, popular hairstyles, clothes? The 80s.
They had all kinds. This was the 60s and 70s. They did have some goofy things. I don't know. They had a thing called a wheelo. It was just it was a wheel that sat on you held it in your hand. It had a two metal bars. That wheel sat on. You just do it. That wheel just go.
I remember those. Yeah.
I mean that the hula hoop. It was all by a company called Whammo. I remember that. They used to have a Hex. It's like a department store, and they sold all the Whammo stuff.
I've never heard of Whammo.
That was the name of the company. They made the hula hoop, all them fatty things.
So when you were a kid, who'd you look up to? Who was your hero?
My dad.
Mom and Daddy. Do you have any favorite? Do you remember? I used to listen. You don't listen to the same stuff, I'm sure, but did you have a favorite song growing up?
Favorite song growing up? I mean, what age?
Music, I know. Let's say when you were about 16, 17, 18. What kind of music did you?
Pink Floyd.
Same when I was that age. Any pets that you remember that left an imprint on you that when you were a kid?
Well, it was Cherokee. He was a part hound dog, part German Shepherd, and part psycho. We had to get rid of him because he attacked the mayor's dog. If you're going to attack a dog, don't attack the mayor's dog.
Yeah, they'll kick you out of town for that.
Yeah, we even got pictures of him. He was a good dog.
Was your family religious? Was Papa religious?
No, we went to church occasionally. My mom was. Yeah, I went. She took me to church.
Was your Baptist? Old Baptist or New Baptist?
Well,
New, like
Southern
what we
Baptist,
are.
Yeah, Southern Baptist up here at Worthington. Yeah, I used to come by when I was growing up. They had a green church bus, full of this old school bus. They had 2 of them. They'd come and park. If you didn't go, you had to go because they'd embarrass you in front of the neighborhoods. They'd sit out there and blow the horn for 15 minutes.
They're like, come on, come to church. Yeah. So let's see here. I know, mentioned in the newspaper, I know when you were an adult, you were a few times with the motorcycle and stuff. Were you ever as a kid mentioned in the newspaper for baseball or anything?
No, I was on Channel 3 News once because I was a conductor on George Bush's first George Bush's presidential train.
Yeah.
I was the conductor, so I got interviewed by Randy Yohe
I
on that.
remember that was in the 80s, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. No, the 90s. 90s.
Yeah, I think Mom
90,
recorded
91,
it.
yeah,
It
we
was
got-
WSAZ, wasn't
It's
it?
on one of them tapes, yeah, WSAZ, Randy Yohe.
They're in our closet, by the way. See, I know who your friends were growing up, and you're still friends with most of them. Still playing music when you can. Let's see here. What world events had the most impact on you while you were growing up? And did they affect
the
your
moon?
family?
I remember stepping up and watching the moon landing.
Oh, really? You were.
Yeah, watched that. Yeah, watched the first 2 or 3 of them. Then after that, it got boring. I was already working on the railroad when the Challenger blew up. Worked on the railroad. I worked the 3rd trick. Got up in the morning at 9/11 happened, and hadn't seen all that on the news. But I remember when Richard Nixon come landing right over here, about 200 yards away, Worthington Airport, 1972. Big to do it. They let us out of school at noon. Back then, you didn't let you out of school.
Let you out. You went to Worthington, didn't you?
Yeah,
Worthington Middle School. So let's see here. Did your family? I know your family celebrated holidays, but did Papa and did they have any family traditions that they did? I mean, besides Concord, I know we would go to Concord.
No, just Christmas and Easter. Yeah. I mean, no, nothing special. No.
So how is the world today different from what it was like when you were a child?
I think it's just not so much different. I mean, it is, but it isn't. But I think it's the family's not used to. Family was the center. Now it's not. I think that's why we got all the ills and problems we got, because the family's not the center.
Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah.
Well,
you know.
we love our family. I know we do dinner every
because that's the
Sunday.
way I did it.
Yeah, I know. Me and Kelly's we're
Family,
all we got.
Yeah,
So
family's first. That's my
yeah.
God, then family.
I agree. Family first, and that is actually a Southern thing too, to have the family and God. And so, are any stories about famous or infamous relatives in your family?
Yeah, I had a cousin that pitched for Cincinnati Red,
Oh,
Dave
that's cool.
Tomlin.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about that time you met. Wasn't it Dwight Yoakam or somebody in the elevator?
Oh, Aaron Tippin, he's a country singer, in Logan, West Virginia. Yeah, I didn't even realize who he was. He's so short, but he ended up buying us dinner. Me and my engineer was going over to eat. He went with us. I had to find out who he was. He's a pretty cool dude. So.
I remember that story. Let's see here. Well, I know there's no recipes being passed down. Let's see here.
You have to make your own. Do like I do. Experiment till you get it right. You know how many pork loins I run before I got it right?
I know. I wish we had Mom's dumpling recipe.
How many jerky batches of jerky I run before I got it right?
Do you care if I ask a few questions about Mom?
I don't care. Yeah.
So, what Mom's full name was Joyce Renee Tomlin, and she was from Ohio, not Kentucky. She was a Northerner. And,
yeah, by one river.
Yeah, but she was a Northerner by one river. She wasn't, considered Appalachia.
Yeah, she wasn't. She married me because I brought her back across the river.
And how did you meet Mom?
Mutual friends, blind date.
Yep. Knew love at first sight.
That wasn't first sight, probably about third sight.
How many years do you guys have together?
37. We've been 37.
37. I know you got married at the courthouse in Greenup.
Mm-hmm.
And so what memory stands out the most from your wedding day?
Only having $300, and I told her, I said, we'll go as far as we can, just have enough gas to get back. And we made it to Williamsburg, Virginia.
Busch Gardens.
Yeah, Busch Gardens. And made it back. And we always wanted to go back and never did, yeah. I got down and back, it's 1985, so gas wasn't, gas was only like, $1.10. So I got down $50 left. I said, we better start back to Kentucky. So.
Now, would you say, Mom, my mom, your wife, your ex-wife, or I can say ex, but your wife. Now, would you say she's family oriented too, like we are?
Yes. What do you think?
Yes, she's home cooking. We always ate for Sunday dinner. What did you admire most about Mom?
Just the fact that she was a good mother.
She was a good mom. She was a good wife, good mom. Yeah. So do you? What is the key to a successful marriage? What is the key to that 37?
She's always right.
Okay, the woman's always right.
Even if you know she's wrong and there's no sense arguing about it, just go to the garage, tell her she's right, absolutely right. You were wrong. Go to the garage and just man up and just forget about it. Just get like the water off a duck's back. It's over.
Well, how did she tell you that she was pregnant for the first time? She tells you she's expecting a child. How'd she surprise that? Spring that one on you.
Oh, we done it. She thought she had missed her period, so we went and got a pregnancy test, and then it come back positive. And then she called the doctor, and he said, "Well, you have to come in and have another test." I said, "I don't trust anything." So she went and had another test. She was pregnant.
Well, with me.
Yeah, with you.
And I know you chose my name from a TV show, but
and we didn't. We was married for almost 5 years before we had kids.
Oh, I know. She was 25. I remember. Now, did you ever have any moments where you were really proud to be a parent? Like it made you really proud? I know you were always involved in sports with us.
Well, no, that wasn't. Both of you, both you and Kelly, both graduated high school. But then outside of me and maybe Jimmy, ain't nobody graduated high school. Connie in our family.
I'm about to graduate college.
And you know what? I've seen the immediate family. You're the first.
Proud. You proud of me?
Yes, I am.
So, go ahead and tell me where you work at. How long you've worked there?
I worked at CSX Transportation since August 1981.
And you retired?
I retired, officially retiring June 18th, but I'm done. I'm taking my vacations and all that stuff.
You're done. You technically
last trip was yesterday, but I got.
So if you could have had another profession other than the railroad, what would you have done?
Seriously, you want me to make a joke?
No. Just.
No, I'd probably always left around here if you got on the rail in 1981. If you got on the railroad, Armco.
You don't think you would have went to school?
I went to vocational school.
I mean, we know you graduated with honors.
I learned till and die. No, I wouldn't have went to college. I didn't like school. I was one of them that just, if I really applied myself, I could probably be in the highest class, but I just hated it. I just didn't apply myself.
I know, I was the same way.
Still made A's, but
well, I didn't make A's. So, of all the things you learned from your parents, what do you feel was the most valuable?
Family.
Family.
From my dad, how to treat and respect a woman.
Yes, you do. You were a wonderful husband.
With my mom,
yes.
she died when I was 13, but I remember, the main thing I remember her was that, she was always, whatever I wanted, I got it, because I was a baby. If I wanted a candy bar, I got a candy bar.
Well, is there any compliments that you're most proud of?
Accomplishment? Nah. I ain't got no accomplishments.
I mean, you got two beautiful daughters. You got two beautiful
grandkids,
and a legacy that lives on.
If you want to call them accomplishments, yeah, I'm proud of them. Yeah, definitely.
So,
you and the grandkids.
My last question will be this: what is one thing that you want people to remember the most about you?
That if they needed me, I was there.
And you were. I know every time I asked you for something, I get it. I appreciate your time today for my interview, and it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, Daddy.